The search for stillness. Many people begin mindfulness because they want a quieter mind. The hope feels simple. Sit down, breathe, find peace. Yet the mind rarely follows these plans. Thoughts move in many directions. Worries return. The very effort to settle becomes a source of discomfort. Notice how this creates a quiet pressure inside you. You believe you should be calm. You think calm is a sign of progress. This pressure grows with every attempt. Today's reflection begins by softening that belief. The mistake is not your effort. The mistake is expecting stillness to appear on command. Think of your attention as mist slowly rising from cool ground. It moves in gentle waves. It shifts without your control. You cannot force it into place. You can only watch its movement. This gentle watching is where your practice begins.
Why effort makes anxiety louder. When people try mindfulness with anxious thoughts, they often push against the discomfort. They try to direct attention with intensity. They try to silence the mind through force. Notice how this creates friction. The harder you try, the tighter your chest becomes. Thoughts multiply. Your body prepares for resistance. This pattern is not failure. It is a natural response to pressure. Thoughts respond to force with more movement. Feel how this explains your past frustration. You were not broken. You were using effort in a place where effort works against you. Instead of trying to control each thought, imagine your attention behaving like early morning frost across open earth. It forms slowly. It settles naturally. It thins on its own. You do not sculpt frost. You allow it to appear. This allowance is the beginning of mindful awareness.
The invisible trap. Most people fall into one unseen mistake. They believe mindfulness requires the removal of thoughts. They assume a quiet mind proves success. This belief creates a subtle war against inner experience. Each thought becomes an enemy. Each worry becomes a threat. You feel responsible for clearing everything away. Notice how heavy this becomes. Thought suppression always fails because resistance feeds attention. The mind focuses on whatever it tries to avoid. When you fight thoughts, they strengthen. When you chase calm, calm moves further away. Imagine your awareness as a distant shoreline beneath soft morning tides. The water comes and goes. Nothing stays fixed. You do not command the tide, you witness its rhythm. This witnessing dissolves the trap. You shift from forcing the mind to allowing the mind to move. If these insights speak to something in you, consider joining this community. Each week, we explore ideas that help you live with steadiness and clarity. Why you feel like you're failing. People often think they fail at mindfulness because their thoughts remain active. They assume success means silence. This belief harms motivation. It creates shame. You tell yourself you should be stronger or calmer. Notice how this adds a second layer of tension. Your reaction to your thoughts becomes louder than the thoughts themselves. This misunderstanding creates exhaustion. Yet the truth is simple. The mind makes thoughts. It always will. Your task is not removal, your task is relationship. Think of your awareness as gentle morning dew resting across open meadows. Dew forms without effort. It appears when conditions support it. Mindfulness develops in the same way. Practice is not about controlling something. Practice is about meeting something with steadiness. This steadiness allows your experience to unfold without conflict. The turning point. We now move into the first shift of understanding. Instead of trying to control your anxiety, you learn to observe it. This shift seems small, yet it changes everything. Anxiety loses its power when you stop wrestling with it. Notice how this feels. There is a softening, a quiet space between you and the thought. Control narrows attention. Observation widens it. Imagine this new relationship as the steady growth of lichen across ancient stone. It expands slowly. It settles with patience. It does not compete for space. Your awareness can grow in this way. Calm appears not through dominance, but through presence. When you allow your thoughts to be seen without force, your nervous system begins to settle. This settling becomes your foundation for deeper practice. Letting thoughts move. When you stop fighting thoughts, they begin to shift. Anxious patterns lose intensity. The mind learns it does not need to react to every disturbance. Notice how this reduces inner pressure. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means you see reality without bracing against it. Think of awareness as the slow drift of snow across quiet hillsides. It gathers, it softens, it reshapes the land with quiet continuity. You do not chase the snow. You do not push it away. You simply notice its presence. When thoughts arise, you see them. When they fade, you see that too. This gentle recognition is the foundation of real mindfulness. It allows you to remain steady while your inner landscape moves. Anchoring in the present. The body becomes a stable anchor when thoughts feel overwhelming. Instead of entering the stories your mind creates, you return to physical sensation. Feet on the ground, breath moving, shoulders settling. These are simple signals that remind your system of safety. Notice how your attention shifts when you rest in this anchor. Thought loops lose their urgency. Imagine this grounded state as the gradual warming of sand after sunrise. Heat rises steadily. The surface becomes more stable. Nothing moves quickly. You feel the warmth without needing to shape it. In this same way, your attention grounds you. It brings you back from imagined futures into the present moment. This grounding builds confidence. It reduces fear. It strengthens your capacity to meet anxiety with clarity. Observing emotion without resistance. Emotions can rise with intensity, anxiety, frustration, uncertainty. These sensations invite resistance. Many people respond with fear. They hope to escape the feeling, yet resistance creates pressure. Acceptance dissolves that pressure. Notice how this works. Naming a sensation gives it space. It becomes something observed rather than something overwhelming. Imagine this process as the formation of ripples across a calm lake at dusk. Each ripple spreads. Each one fades. You do not follow the ripple. You do not freeze it. You simply watch its movement. When emotion rises, you observe its shape. You describe it gently. There is tension. There is unease. This honesty softens intensity. It helps you understand that feelings move on their own. They do not require control. They require awareness. When thoughts loop. Thought loops can feel endless. The mind repeats scenarios. It predicts danger. It reviews old memories. This looping feels personal, yet loops are mechanical. They run because they ran yesterday. They continue because you engage with them. Notice how loops lose power when you observe instead of participate. Imagine your awareness as the steady presence of basalt cliffs along distant coasts. Waves come, waves go. The cliffs remain. Your attention can hold this same steadiness. When thoughts push for reaction, you stay anchored. You do not follow. You do not fight. You witness. This witnessing interrupts the loop. It grounds your identity in the observer, not the thinker. This shift is where genuine peace begins.
Understanding impermanence. Impermanence is one of the most helpful insights in mindfulness. Everything changes. Sensations rise and fall. Thoughts appear and disappear. Emotions swell and fade. Anxiety feels permanent only when you are inside it. Notice how this illusion softens when you watch the process. Think of impermanence as the slow drifting of silt along riverbeds far below clear water. It moves gradually. It reshapes pathways. Nothing stays fixed. Your inner experience follows this same law. The anxious moment you feel today will shift. The mood you feel tomorrow will shift. This understanding reduces fear. It invites patience. It encourages trust in the process of change.
Seeing through the illusion of control. Many people believe peace comes from controlling the mind, yet control tightens the nervous system. It narrows attention. It increases stress. When you release control, your system relaxes. Notice how this creates a sense of openness. You stop chasing an ideal state. You begin meeting the real moment. Imagine this release as the gentle settling of dusk across distant plains. Light softens, boundaries blur. A quiet sense of space emerges. Your awareness expands in the same way. You see thoughts as movements within a larger field rather than obstacles blocking your path. This clarity reduces anxiety at its root.
The practice of naming. Naming thoughts and feelings interrupts reactivity. It gives structure to experience. Instead of being consumed by anxiety, you recognize its presence. This recognition brings steadiness. Notice how naming creates distance. You shift from "I am anxious" to "anxiety is present." This shift strengthens the observer. Imagine naming as the gentle pattern of shadows moving across canyon walls near sunset. Each shadow shifts, each one changes shape. You see it, you acknowledge it, you let it pass. Naming allows you to meet each thought with neutrality. It prevents the mind from spiraling into fear. It strengthens your ability to remain grounded with each wave of experience. Returning to the anchor. The mind will wander. It always has. It always will. The practice is the return. Each return builds strength. Each return deepens awareness. Notice how this repetition creates stability. You learn to trust your ability to come back. Imagine the return as the slow formation of mineral layers inside quiet caverns. Each layer builds upon the last. Each one forms through patience. This is your inner growth. Returning to the anchor is not failure, it is mastery. It teaches you that presence is always available. It shows you that clarity can be restored at any moment. Building emotional resilience. Emotional resilience grows when you stop fearing your inner world. Anxiety becomes less intimidating. Thoughts become less personal. Sensations become less threatening. Notice how this creates inner space. You feel able to experience life without bracing. Imagine resilience as the steady growth of moss across shaded ravines. It expands quietly. It adapts to its environment. It remains stable through changing conditions. Your resilience grows in this same quiet way. It forms through daily practice. It forms through patience. It forms through awareness. This resilience becomes your foundation for peace.
The gentle strength of non-resistance. Non-resistance does not mean withdrawal. It does not mean passivity. It means you stop adding tension to what already feels uncomfortable. This creates space for clarity. Notice how non-resistance supports emotional balance. When you allow thoughts and sensations to move, your system relaxes. Imagine non-resistance as the slow settling of sediment beneath clear mountain pools. Each particle finds its place. The water becomes still without force. Your mind settles in the same way. Peace appears when internal struggle fades. This gentle strength becomes a central part of your practice.
Why acceptance heals? Acceptance is not approval. It is recognition. It ends the inner battle. When you acknowledge your experience honestly, anxiety loses pressure. Notice how this changes your breathing. Notice the sense of softness. Imagine acceptance as the quiet formation of crystalline layers within ancient ice fields. Each layer records a moment. Each layer rests in stillness. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forced. This is how acceptance feels in the mind. It is patient. It is neutral. It allows you to grow through understanding rather than resistance.
Awareness is larger than thought. It is the space in which thought appears. When you identify with awareness rather than the thought, you feel free. Notice how this unhooks your attention from fear. Thoughts continue, yet they no longer dominate your experience. Imagine this sense of spacious awareness as the widening expanse of distant tundra beneath a fading sky. There is room for everything. There is pressure from nothing. This space allows you to feel steady even when the mind moves quickly. This spaciousness becomes your refuge.
The calm that follows observation. When you observe your inner world without resistance, calm begins to appear naturally. It is not dramatic. It is not sudden. It grows through quiet consistency. Notice how this calm feels different from forced calm. It feels earned. It feels stable. Imagine this natural calm as the gradual cooling of volcanic stone after long seasons. Heat fades. Surfaces settle. A deeper stability forms beneath. Your nervous system behaves in this same way. Calm becomes part of your baseline rather than something you chase. A new relationship with your mind. You no longer see thoughts as threats. You no longer see anxiety as proof of weakness. You understand the nature of the mind. You understand impermanence. You understand acceptance. Notice how this clarity changes your life. You feel able to meet each moment without fear. Imagine this new relationship as the quiet unfolding of alpine meadows during spring thaw. Change happens gently. Growth appears in many places. The landscape renews itself. Your inner world can renew itself in the same way. This renewal becomes your path forward.
Walking forward with steadiness. Mindfulness is not about controlling thoughts. It is about meeting them with presence. It is about choosing awareness instead of resistance. Notice how your journey has shifted. You now understand the core mistake. You now see the simple solution. Imagine this ongoing journey as the slow widening of a valley shaped by countless seasons. Space expands. Light deepens. A quiet sense of possibility appears. Your practice will grow in this same quiet way. And as you continue forward, if you wish to stay connected with reflections that support your growth, you are welcome to remain part of this community. We walk this path together, one steady moment at a time.